My story is a story of fatherlessness. I was born to a teenage mother at the age of 15, and my biological father, he passed away while she was pregnant. As you can imagine, early childhood adversity, very difficult circumstances at home. And by the time I was 13 years old, I started my journey in substance abuse that eventually led to my incarceration at the age of 27 years old. I committed an aggravated kidnapping in an attempt to take my own life. I was sentenced to natural life in Louisiana and remanded to the Department of Corrections to serve out the remaining days of my life in Angola. Essentially, the one controlling lie that I had believed my whole life, that the God of the Bible was not telling us the truth of who he was, suddenly became true, and I knew he was my dad. This reparenting model that God started in my life was nothing short of the power of the resurrection. You know, God had given me some extraordinary mentors in my life. Jesus specializes in nevers, and along many of the phases of my journey, God called me to be a pastor and to actually plant a church inside Angola, a fully constituted Southern Baptist church. And let me tell you, I heard never, never, never gonna happen an awful lot. So I've come up with that phrase, Jesus specializes in nevers. So as you can tell by me sitting here, this isn't a sad story. Even though I was sentenced to life in prison and didn't have any expectation or reasonable hope ever to leave, the former governor of Louisiana, John Bel Edwards, saw different and granted me executive mercy. And I like to say that, you know, I live like I died yesterday now. I live very purposeful and intentional in the power of the resurrection. And if anybody really understands that, who's ever been in situations like me where you have been buried and sent into an estate of incarceration where you have no reason or ever expect to hope to get out again, when you walk out of the gates of a prison, it is nothing short of redemption from a kind of a prototypical grave. My life had drastically changed, where I was once dead, but now I'm alive. But what I discovered when I was given the opportunity to leave prison is that I was overwhelmed by the idea and the feeling that I didn't want to leave my brothers behind. 96% of all the people that enter the gates of Angola never leave. They end up in these graves. So I was given the privilege to spend the day walking around Point Lookout 3 and wanted to make sure that I said goodbye and see you later to my brothers in a way that I was going to be waiting for them at the resurrection, because many, many of those men are born again believers that are buried in those cemeteries, and they will be raised on the last day, just like we will. Walking out of prison is sort of a mini typological resurrection for sure, but it's never to be compared to that which is the true power of the resurrection, which only lies in our Savior, Jesus Christ. So I've come home. I was this kid, lost, had no hope, had no reason to live, couldn't find a reason to live. I was captured by the love of Jesus. God became my dad. He put people in my life that reparented me. I was formally educated. God's comic nature enough allowed me to plant a church in prison. And then the governor of Louisiana gave me a gold seal and sent me home, and I married my best friend on Christmas Eve. I mean, what could be more powerful than that?